So today's video is for Mermay. I have seen so many artists' posts for Mermay, and they're like dedicated to posting a drawing every single day, and just like, wow, props to them. It takes me forever to get a drawing started and actually like work on it. I started this recording on May 1st. So basically during the first couple weeks in the beginning of May, I felt really bad, like mentally, and so I couldn't like force myself to work when I was like feeling that way. And so I started feeling better mid-May, and that's when I started working on it. I could have finished it in May. I was trying so many different things, and I knew I had time that I could finish it in May, but the last couple days of May, on like the 28th, my hand and wrist started to hurt really badly, and so I got really worried. I was like, this is not good, and I know a lot of artists have wrist pain and hand pain, and it's really bad if it actually turns into something. And so I was really worried about that, and it lasted for a couple days. Like, the pain was on and off, and I felt like, oh god, is this it? Because that would really suck. And I felt really bad, and I really wanted to finish it in May, but like, my hand is more important than finishing a drawing, you know? So yeah, I apologize. I feel really god awful for not finishing it in May. Anybody watching this who does art, take care of your hands, because if you don't, that is whatever happens to your hands, that's usually forever. So yeah, take care of your hands and move about. Also, I apologize for the quality of the video. I think like later on it becomes a little jerky during like one spot of the recording. I don't know why. I don't know what I did. I kind of just sped it up, and I don't think it sped up too much for it to be jerky. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I apologize. So I didn't know what I was doing when I first started this like coloring in. I had no idea what I was doing. I really wanted to work on the mermaid first because I didn't want to start on such a big part of the drawing, but then I realized I needed to do the background first because it like the reflections from the water, it would affect how the mermaid looks, right? And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll do the background first. And then came the hard part as far as coloring in goes anyways. So the color palette, oh my god, I almost dropped my phone. So the color palette, I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like, but I tried to find the colors I had in my head, and nothing looked right. Like, they all looked good in my head, but as soon as I started placing them down where they should go, everything was like, is this really what you want? And so I placed down a bunch of colors. It didn't look good. I placed more colors. It didn't look right. And so I just placed colors that would look like decent together, and they didn't look bad. And then I just kind of like slid the hue bar and the saturation, and I was like, you know what, this looks good to me. See, a lot of people think I'm like a put-together artist, and I'm not. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking until I actually have some decent commentary relating to the video, because I feel like I've just been blabbering about like just about anything, because I just really love to talk. So yeah, I will see you whenever I have actual commentary. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people just are like, oh my god, why is she still talking? It's so annoying. I don't know if people want to hear me talk, or they just want like music overlaid and like a little bit of talking. I don't know, because I could talk for forever. So yeah, thanks for listening to me talk. I'm gonna just play some nice music now.
Girl, I want to say I'm sorry for the things that I have done. I broke your heart in pieces. I'm regretful for what I've done. I hope you find it in your heart to love me again. We will fall apart to mend your wounds and heal your heart. one more time to mend your wounds and heal your heart. Please try to trust me. One more time. One more time.
I always put a lot of detail into my drawings, and my mom always tells me, like, why do you put so much detail when no one's gonna see it? But, like, it makes me feel good because I know that I put detail even if people can't see it. But yeah, I really put a lot of detail into the plants, especially if you look at the cattails. Oh my god, that is my favorite part of the drawing. The cattails, if you zoom in really, really close to the cattails, they have so much detail to them. I love it. And so the plants in the water, I really didn't think it through on like how much of it would be visible, and now that I look at it, I'm kind of like, man, why did I spend so much time with the plants when it's not going to be visible? But you know what, I feel good about it. So that's, you know what, it's good, it's all good. So when I was working on the water, it was very interesting because I've never really drawn water, especially not in the detail or as good as I drew this water. I like the texture drawings and all that, and so I tried with the background, the grass and all. I tried to make the grass textured, and I tried to put a decent amount of detail into the trees because I've never been able to really draw trees well, but I'm actually really impressed with how it turned out. The skin was pretty dang difficult for me because I haven't really done skin the way that this skin looks like. I've usually done it very simplified, but I wanted this piece to look kind of semi-realistic, and so I was like, okay, what does the human body look like? And it's so silly when you think about it because everyone knows what the human body looks like. It isn't really difficult, but until you actually start to like draw it and color it in, you're like, is this where the shading goes? And is this where it should be highlighted? I have what it should look like in my head, but as I was drawing, I was like, this does not look right. And yeah, it took me a while to get it right. Like if you see throughout the video, I struggled a lot with the skin. So the skin, I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like in my head, and I kept drawing and building up the skin, and none of it looked right. But in the end, I really liked how the skin turned out. I think I achieved the semi-realistic goal of what I was going for. It doesn't look like really, really fake, and it doesn't look realistic, so like semi-realism, yay, fun.
I've got no chauffeur for me. I've got no
throughout the drawing, I actually flipped the canvas, which I never really do. And wow, look at me. This drawing has so many new things that I've never done before. And then on top of that, you add me flipping the canvas. Like, wow, incredible. Shook. I'm like a decent artist. And I'm actually surprised that when I flipped the canvas for the first time, it didn't really look wrong. And I was like, are my proportions and everything like pretty good for it not to be like that? And so throughout the drawing, I kept flipping it back and forth, and the symmetry and everything, it looks so good. I'm so happy with it. I think this is probably the first drawing I have ever done where it actually looks good when you flip it. And so I am really happy about that.
Yeah, we stayed up all night.
Yeah, I'm sleep deprived,
Yeah, we slept all day.
but I like it this way.
Oh, I never thought that I would want to spend my time
Staring at my phone and waiting for you to see my reply.
Don't keep me waiting, please. This is what I need for me and you to be together forever whenever you need me.
So what I was doing here was skin tones, which basically helps the face look more realistic. If you're interested in this, you can search skin tones tutorial. I think it's somewhere online. You can probably find it if you search it.
Yeah, I dream about you,
Yeah, we say it's okay,
but I don't want it this way.
You light me up like a beam when I see you through my screen.
Haven't held you yet, but the way I feel.
And just when I thought I was done with the drawing, I kind of realized, like, wait a second, something looks really, really off. And then I realized that I was missing water because the mermaid is coming out of the water, so obviously the skin needs to look like it's wet and water droplets and stuff. I was like, oh no, I've never drawn water like this before. Like, again, I'm going for semi-realism, so oh my god, I tried to find like how to draw water tutorials online because I had no idea what I was doing and I couldn't find anything. And so I just searched up water on face or something like that, and there was like a photo of a model, and I was just like, you know what, I guess this will work. And so I just like studied the water. So yeah, the water doesn't look bad, but for my first time drawing water like that, I'm pretty impressed. So thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in my next video.
You to see my